Hi, I'm Peter Haddock and I'm here at Highways UK with Tom Tideswell, Head of Innovation for Kier Transportation. And Tom, you are an award-winning head as of last night, because the Highways UK Awards, you actually won a category with one of your supply chain partners. Yeah. Really exciting when innovation is rewarded, isn't it? And, and the 100%. Work that you're doing. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that first, and then we're going to talk about the rest.
Yeah, so in terms of the award that we won last night from a Kier perspective, we won a Safety Initiative Award, and it's with a company called FYLD, who is an SME, and Kier are really proud to work with SMEs. And what it does, it's essentially, normally we basically have a point work risk assessment. It's normally done on paper, it's quite generic and what have you, but what FYLD actually does, it's a video risk assessment. So you video record the area you're working, you talk about the potential risks that you see or you could potentially come across. Yep. And what it does, it actually suggests, have you thought of this? Have you thought of X? Have you thought of Y? And so what we've actually noticed within Kier is we've had an increase in terms of point of work risk assessments that are carried out, and it's making our operatives and our workforce think instead of just being told, etc., and that type of stuff. So it's utilising their knowledge, their experience, and their expertise on what they see as risks and what have you, and it complements what we do. So
and it's really part of it. Yeah, it's part of a digitalisation journey.
It is,
isn't
100%.
It?
Yeah.
And we always talk about changing behaviours being the most important thing when you talk about innovation and bringing things in. And when you can visualise it and share it and learn from it, and when you've got prompts to say, have you thought about this? It's like, what are you in the field? You're not necessarily going to have all the answers. Exactly. But then when 100%. You prompt it, brilliant idea.
Yeah, so it's part of a wider digitalisation process that we're going through Kier. So we're trying to streamline our processes, policies, risk assessments, method statements, standardise them where we can, so we can create digital versions of them, etc. Easy manipulable, easy to understand. So it's all part of that journey of hopefully reaching carbon zero when we get there.
And I think what's really important is it is a journey, and you know you've talked about digitalisation there, but you've also been on a 3D journey. And I know for the A417, which I'm following with your colleagues, that you're looking at digital rehearsals. You're looking at how you build in machine control, how you build in the processes and flows of how you work as well. That's really important to the delivery of projects, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're on a big journey. So Kier are quite infant in terms of the major projects world as transportation. Obviously, learning as we go. But one of the things what we're trying to do is implement the use of digital rehearsals, as mentioned, to reduce TQs, which is your tender quality or technical queries and what have you. Practicing in a safe environment. So when we actually arrive on site, we do it right first time. It's a real imperative to our clients. It's really important to Kier, because that's what we want to be as a business. We want to be market leading. We are market leading in a lot of the sectors that we work in, but we want to be market leading in the major projects world as well. And delivering a real project right first time, it's better for the customer because we don't have delays in roadworks, we don't have delays in time, the project's delay, etc. It's better for our clients because they're getting the project done quickly, efficiently and effectively. And from a Kier point of view, it allows us to move to the next project as well. So being able to categorise it, run trials within our yard and our comfort, our offices and what have you, should I say rather, it actually allows us to iron out any kinks or any issues we have before arriving on site. And stand downs are quite costly, they're quite effective, they have a massive negative impact on the GDP of the UK. When you've got road closures in place, you've got full closures, and you can't install X because it's 30 mil out. An example. So being able to practice it in the comfort of our offices, run it in a real life scenario, being able to tweak things, it actually allows us to deliver right first time for our clients.
And I think what's really interesting when we're looking at big projects like the A417, you're building that off
network,
the network, and so therefore you're able to do all of these different things and deliver and literally plug it in, because the road is busy enough as it is. Exactly. That's why the project's being done.
Yeah, it's a real bottleneck. So anything we do from a traffic management point of view, even we shut it for a short period of time or in past experiences, it's gridlocked. So being able to trial everything in the comfort of our office, as I mentioned, I keep saying that, but that's the purpose. We don't, where we can, we don't want boots on the ground. We want people to be making the effective, correct decisions in the right environment, if that makes sense. So no rash decisions are made. It's thought out. It's educated. It's educated assessment, etc. So it's really important. And being able to basically turn on the basic bits that we're building and be really positive for the area that we're working in.
And so, the whole point to this is that Kier Transportation is the main owner as such, you know, the delivery owner, but you are reliant on supply chain.
Yes,
and
100%.
you're also reliant on the supply chain to the supply chain and all of the assets and things like that. And you know, what's really interesting is how you're now looking at monitoring performance.
Yes.
You know, looking at idle times, looking at how you can use technologies like tilt rotators, like the latest paving technologies and things like that as well, isn't it? And how they all add up to the carbon picture.
Exactly.
Tell me where that journey is and what you're looking for the supply chain to do.
So what we're doing at the moment, so we're doing quite a lot of work with National Highways. We're working with the lean team at National Highways. And what we're looking to do is a plant utilisation review. Working with our supply chain partners is understanding if we've got the right equipment, the right plant for the right activity that's carrying out. They're not stood around idling. We've got designated areas where people can have their breaks, because that's what a lot of the time when you look at idling time, people are sat in the comfort of the cab because it's horrible outside, eating their dinners and what have you, taking the appropriate breaks that they should, ensuring that we're putting equipment and plant and material, especially like type 1 materials, which is obviously how we build up the road and what have you, we're putting at a strategic point. So we're not driving from point A of the contract all the way to point B. It's strategically placed. It reduces risk, because obviously I haven't got 40-ton excavators and tippers driving around. So it's safer for our workforce, it's more efficient. Naturally, National Highways get a better product to the end because we're not wasting time, etc. So we're working with companies like Leica. Leica do really good equipment, so we're working not just only from a machine control point of view, so we're using Leica's equipment, but they're also helping us from an underground service detection point of view as well. So it's a real issue for us in the industry, and utilising the GPR surveys, different type of equipment that Leica offer, and working with people like Neil and Shane from Leica really helps us not strike things, which has a negative impact on Kier, has a negative impact on our customers. And if, let's be selfish, if we lose our internet, we lose our water at our house, we're not going to be very happy, are we, as an example?
No.
So being able to mitigate that, identify the right equipment, identify the right services where they are, we can basically minimise the impact on the local residents and what have you. So it's really enjoyable working with companies like Leica, and they share the same vision as us as well, which is key from a supply chain point of view. We want to work with people who are like-minded like ourselves. We want to put safety first and foremost.
Absolutely.
Productivity, but also what Leica's machine control and what have you allows us to do. It allows our operators, whether it's a Walters or it's a Flannery who's working with us, and it's Walters on the A417, actually allows their operators to actually drive the vehicles. They're not considering 30 different things. They can actually operate the vehicle or piece of plant and actually be really, and the mindset is on their task, not worrying about 30 different things that they have to do as well. So it's really important, and we as Kier can't get to where we want to be from a carbon point of view, productivity point of view, without working with our supply chain partners and in particular SMEs as well. So we're trying to work with as many SMEs within the Gloucester region and Bristol region. So we're working with Pro Electric, who are based in Bristol for our solar panels.
Oh, great!
They're based in the region as well. So we're trying to keep, best way to describe it, keeping the money within the area as well, and that type of stuff. So it's really good.
Fantastic. And I think for me, what's really important is, you know, big projects that you're on and all of this work, it delivers a legacy to the industry. So when you've delivered something, when you can learn from it, when you can show people and you can move to the next step forward and say, this is what we've learned, before we even go to the next project, we're going to implement this approach, and therefore we won't make any of those sort of not necessarily errors, we won't make any of those judgments without the informed decisions that we've already made on the projects when we've seen them. And that's how we learn, isn't it? And sharing 100%. That with National Highways is equally important.
So from a lessons learned point of view, we do have regular catch-ups as part of our performance lifecycle excellence program within Kier, so that's how we have to perform as Kier. But what we do, we obviously have our supply chain partners in, we have our National Highways, and we share what's worked well and what hasn't. And what we do, we obviously store that information, share it, cascade it around the wider business and what have you, and on the next project, this was an issue, how do we resolve it, etc., and learn. So we're not repeating the same mistakes or same issues occurring, and we share that knowledge with Kier, we share it with the wider collaboration within National Highways. So I sit on the RDP Southwest Centre of Excellence for the from an innovation point of view, which has all the other tier 1s, tier 2s sat in the room, and it's all about collaboration, it's all about sharing learning, sharing opportunities, sharing innovations for the region.
Yeah.
So it's all about leaving that impact on the region as well. Yeah, so yeah, really good.
And I think what's really important for me, folks, is this is a people industry. We're here
Exactly.
at Highways UK. You're actively asking people like SMEs, like other innovators,
Yeah.
to come to you and share their ideas,
100%.
and so that you can actively take them through the
Yeah.
process. And there is a process
It is, yeah.
of how to get that onto a working job site.
Yeah.
Much like National Highways have got their development centre,
Yeah.
you're intertwined with that. And what's really exciting for me, folks, is when we look at earthworks and big projects, move it once, move it well.
Exactly.
Move it to the right
Exactly.
position, you don't
Yeah.
have to move it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dig it to the right
Yeah.
level, you don't have to come back and repeat that
exactly.
exercise. Know where all the underground utilities are before you actually go into
Yeah.
right, and the depths
100%.
using technology, great. And all of this is taking people away from the people-plant interface.
Yes.
And if you can't do that, you can utilise the latest AI
Exactly.
solutions that are into the Leica tablet from the likes of Xwatch, for example, and therefore you can mitigate any risk. And this
Yeah.
is it. Everybody home, safe all the time.
Exactly.
But we're on that journey.
Yeah.
We're building a road right now that I'm following, A417. But we're on that journey on the road to net zero, and
Yeah.
we're pushing really hard, aren't we?
Exactly, 100%. Yeah.
Fantastic to meet you, Tom. Cheers
Thank
for
you
your
very
time.
much. Thank you very much.